Pan-Africanism. It's a big word, but it holds a simple, powerful idea: people of African descent united as one. This dream didn't start in Africa's capitals, but in the minds of thinkers far away, men like Martin Delany and Edward Blyden, who saw the suffering of their people and dared to imagine a different future. These pioneers knew that the chains of slavery weren't the only things holding Africans back. There was a deeper wound, the belief that Africa was a continent without history, without a voice. Webb Du Bois, a towering intellect, challenged this lie. He dove into Africa's rich past, proving its greatness to the world and, more importantly, to Africans themselves. Du Bois and others planted a seed, the idea that Africans, no matter where they were scattered, shared a common heritage and a common destiny. This seed found fertile ground in the minds of future leaders like Kwame Nkrumah and Julius Nyerere. But Pan-Africanism was more than just an idea. It was a call to action, a call to break free from colonial rule, to reclaim Africa's stolen legacy. And across the continent, that call was answered. The Gold Coast, later renamed Ghana, became a beacon of hope. Kwame Nkrumah, a charismatic leader, led his people to independence in 1957. This wasn't just Ghana's victory, it was a seismic shift, a crack in the foundation of colonialism that echoed across the continent.
True freedom means more than just lowering a foreign flag. It means building a nation strong enough to stand on its own 2 feet.
He pushed for economic development, for education, for a Ghana that could take its rightful place on the world stage. Meanwhile, Nigeria, a land of diverse cultures and languages, was also on the march towards independence. Achieving freedom in 1960, Nigeria's leaders faced the daunting task of uniting a nation from a patchwork of ethnicities and religions.
West Africa was ablaze with the spirit of Pan-Africanism. Nkrumah became a vocal advocate for a united Africa, a continent free from foreign interference. His dream resonated, especially with those still shackled by colonial rule.
In East Africa, Julius Nyerere, a visionary leader, guided Tanganyika to independence. He believed in ujamaa, a Swahili word meaning familyhood. Nyerere's vision wasn't just about political freedom, it was about economic justice, about building a society where everyone had a share in the nation's wealth.
Kenya's path to freedom was paved with the blood and sacrifice of its people. The Mau Mau uprising, a rebellion against British rule, shook the very core of the empire.
Figures like Jomo Kenyatta emerged from the struggle, becoming symbols of Kenya's unwavering desire for self-determination. Across East Africa, the message was clear. Colonialism's time was up. The people demanded control over their own land, their own resources, their own destiny. But nowhere was the fight for freedom more brutal, more iconic than in South Africa. Apartheid, a system of racial segregation that treated black South Africans as second-class citizens, became a stain on the world's conscience.
Nelson Mandela, imprisoned for 27 years for his activism, became a global symbol of resistance. His unwavering belief in equality, even in the face of unimaginable cruelty, inspired millions.
From the streets of Soweto to the halls of the United Nations, the world condemned apartheid's injustice. It was a long walk to freedom, a journey marked by boycotts, sanctions, and armed struggle. But finally, in 1994, apartheid crumbled. Nelson Mandela walked free, and South Africa took its first breath as a true democracy.